12 perfect perennials to plant in June for summer blooms. Hey there, garden dreamers and indoor plant lovers. Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the place where your home turns into a sanctuary, one plant at a time. If you've ever looked at your garden or windowsill in June and thought, is it too late to plant something beautiful? Then this video is for you. Maybe you're juggling a busy schedule, or you're new to gardening and just didn't get to planting in spring. Maybe the weather wasn't on your side, or you're simply ready for a refresh. Whatever brought you here, know this: you haven't missed your chance. In fact, you're right on time. Today, I'm going to walk you through 12 perfect perennials you can plant right now in June that will bloom brilliantly all summer long and come back year after year with even more color, more life, and more magic. So whether you're planting in a small backyard, a sunny patio corner, or a modest front garden, this list is going to meet you where you are and help you grow from there. If you love this kind of practical, soulful gardening advice, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our Earthly Delights family. Now, let's get into the good stuff. Let's begin with what I like to call the hidden superstars of June, the kinds of perennials that not only forgive your late start, but actually reward it. These are for the dreamers who hit snooze on spring, the caregivers juggling home and family, and the curious souls just beginning their plant journey. And leading this list is a bold classic that never disappoints. 1. Coneflower, Echinacea. If your garden could speak, coneflowers would be its voice, strong, resilient, and unapologetically vibrant. With petals in shades of pink, purple, and even orange, Echinacea doesn't just show up, it radiates. What makes it perfect for June? It's a late bloomer's best friend. You can plant it now and still enjoy blooms before the season ends. Coneflowers thrive in full sun, tolerate poor soil, and come back stronger each year. And as a bonus, they're bee and butterfly magnets, turning your garden into a buzzing sanctuary of life. Once established, they're drought-tolerant and incredibly low maintenance. You can deadhead for tidier blooms, or leave the seed heads in fall for birds to enjoy. Plant them in a mid-border space or mix with native grasses for that wild meadow charm. Whether you've got a balcony pot or a sunny patch of soil, coneflowers are proof that even late bloomers shine brightest. 2. Blanket flower, Gaillardia. If your summer garden had a heartbeat, it would pulse with the fiery rhythm of the blanket flower. Gaillardia is the definition of fierce beauty, flames of red, orange, and yellow dancing across its petals like a midsummer sunset. And here's the best part: it doesn't care when you plant it, as long as you give it sunlight and a chance. This is the flower for the gardeners who crave color but don't want a high-maintenance relationship. Plant it in June, and Gaillardia will waste no time, bursting into bloom within weeks and carrying those vivid colors all the way into fall. It thrives in full sun, loves poor, well-drained soil, and doesn't bat an eye at heat or drought. In fact, it prefers things a little tough. That's why it's perfect for dry patches, rocky garden corners, or neglected slopes. Want a secret? The more you deadhead, the more it blooms. But even if you forget, it keeps going, just a little wild and a little scrappy, like a true survivor. Place it near borders, pathways, or in pots that catch afternoon light. Wherever you put it, Gaillardia brings the drama, with zero diva behavior. 3. Yarrow, Achillea. Now, if you're the kind of gardener who believes beauty should also be useful, yarrow is your quiet champion. It's not flashy, it doesn't shout, but it holds centuries of wisdom in its fern-like leaves and umbrella-shaped blooms. Planting yarrow in June isn't just okay, it's ideal. This hardy perennial adapts fast, especially in sun-drenched, dry spots where other flowers struggle. It thrives on neglect, asks for little, and still gives you clusters of flowers in white, yellow, pink, or deep red that sway gently in the breeze. Historically used for healing wounds, yarrow today still heals the garden by attracting pollinators, resisting deer, and withstanding drought. If your soil is sandy or rocky, yarrow says, perfect. It even grows beautifully in gravel gardens and wildflower meadows. Pinch back the first stems to encourage a bushier plant, and harvest some early blooms to dry. They'll last for months indoors. Add it to a wildlife-friendly garden, line your borders, or let it spill between stones. Yarrow isn't just a plant, it's a message. You don't need to be complicated to be powerful. Now let's move into a different kind of beauty, the kind that fills every border, spills from balconies, and perfumes the warm summer air. These next perennials aren't just showstoppers, they're space makers. Whether you're working with a sprawling backyard or a cozy patio nook, these blooms bring color, scent, and soul to every square inch. 4. Garden phlox, Phlox paniculata. Garden phlox is like that elegant guest who arrives fashionably late and still steals the show. Planted in June, it settles in quickly and often rewards you with fragrant clusters of pink, white, purple, or red by the end of summer. Phlox loves rich, moist soil and full sun to partial shade, but here's the trick. Give it room to breathe. Good airflow keeps powdery mildew away, and your flowers will thank you with lush, healthy blooms. For those of you building layered borders, phlox adds a welcome height and romantic softness, perfect behind lower-growing perennials or as a gentle screen near walkways. And the scent? It's dreamy. Sweet and nostalgic, like a summer memory that lingers long after sunset. If you want your garden to not only look beautiful but feel beautiful, garden phlox might just be your secret weapon. 5. Coreopsis. Some flowers are soft and subtle. Coreopsis is not one of them. It bursts into summer like a golden firework, scattering cheerful blooms in yellow, orange, or bold bicolor patterns that light up even the dullest corners of your garden. It's the plant for the busy, the distracted, the overwhelmed, because it doesn't hold a grudge. Forgot to water? Missed a deadheading session? Coreopsis keeps blooming anyway. June is the perfect time to plant it. The soil's warm, the sun is strong, and Coreopsis is ready to leap into action. It loves full sun, well-drained soil, and thrives in heat and drought. Once established, it asks for almost nothing and gives you months of joy. Deadheading will encourage more blooms, and a midsummer trim keeps it tidy and energized for a second wave of flowers. Tuck it along garden borders, edge a pathway, or plant it in a pot right outside your kitchen window. Wherever you place it, Coreopsis will bring energy, optimism, and the kind of color that makes you stop and smile every single day. 6. Veronica. If your garden design is starting to feel a little flat, Veronica is the elegant vertical touch you didn't know you needed. With its slender spikes of soft blue, pink, or white, this perennial brings a graceful rhythm to your borders, like nature's way of drawing your eye upward. Veronica thrives when planted in June. The longer days help it root fast, and its tidy growth habit makes it a dream for neat gardeners and chaotic ones alike. Full sun and well-drained soil? That's its happy place. And while it's heat-tolerant, it won't sprawl, flop, or beg for attention. It's a reliable performer that keeps things clean and structured, perfect for modern gardens or classic cottage charm. To keep it blooming well into late summer, just deadhead the first flowers and give it a gentle trim. You'll be rewarded with a second flush of those elegant spikes. Use Veronica to soften pathways, edge raised beds, or weave between chunkier plants like coneflowers and daisies. It doesn't steal the spotlight, it illuminates it. Now let's talk about the plants that work just as hard as you do. These are the perennials for real life, for gardeners who forget to water, travel on weekends, or just want to enjoy their garden without turning it into a full-time job. These next selections are tough, forgiving, and beautiful in their own right, even when life gets messy. Number 7, Black-Eyed Susan, Rudbeckia. There's something reassuring about a plant that always shows up, and Black-Eyed Susan is that loyal friend. With golden petals surrounding deep, dark centers, Rudbeckia brings warmth and wild charm to any garden space. Plant it in June, and you'll still get blooms by midsummer that last well into fall. It loves full sun, shrugs off poor soil, and doesn't blink at drought. That makes it perfect for the gardener with more enthusiasm than time. Deadheading can keep it blooming longer, but even if you forget, it often reseeds itself, like a gift that keeps on giving. It thrives in open beds, along fences, or paired with grasses for that golden prairie look. If you're starting late, or simply want a flower that thrives with minimal fuss, the Black-Eyed Susan will never let you down. 8. Shasta Daisy. If there's one flower that captures the pure joy of summer, it's the Shasta Daisy. Bright white petals, sunny yellow centers, and a look so timeless, it feels like it's been part of every childhood memory, every lazy afternoon, every lemonade on the porch kind of day. Shasta daisies thrive when planted in June. They settle in quickly, especially in full sun and well-drained soil, and start blooming with barely any encouragement. These perennials are neat, cheerful, and almost impossibly dependable. Want more blooms? Just deadhead the spent flowers. Want them to stand tall? Avoid overly rich soil, which can lead to floppy stems. A little pinch early in the season can encourage bushier growth too. They're perfect for white-themed borders, wildflower beds, or even in containers on a sunlit balcony. And when you clip a few for the house, you'll see nothing lifts a room like a vase full of these classic beauties. Shasta daisies aren't just flowers, they're companions, the kind that quietly remind you that simple things are often the most meaningful. 9. Daylilies, Hemerocallis. If your garden had a heartbeat, daylilies would be the steady rhythm pulsing through it, reliable, graceful, and quietly spectacular. With their arching green foliage and trumpet-shaped blooms, daylilies bring structure and color in equal measure. June is a surprisingly perfect time to plant them. Even mid-season, many varieties will still bloom before summer ends, especially reblooming types like the famous Stella d'Oro. Daylilies thrive in full sun to partial shade and aren't picky about soil. Once they settle in, they handle drought, resist pests, and come back stronger each year. Deadheading helps extend their bloom time, and dividing them every few years keeps them vigorous. They're ideal for edging driveways, filling awkward corners, or lining walkways with soft waves of green and color. Their foliage adds texture year-round, and the flowers feel like daily surprises, each one only lasting a day, but always followed by another. For gardeners who want beauty without babysitting, daylilies are the perfect partner, reliable, stunning, and endlessly generous. You didn't think we'd stop at the classics, did you? Now it's time for something a little more unexpected. These final picks are the hidden gems, the kind of perennials that not only thrive with a June start, but bring something extra to the table. Healing, fragrance, or just a touch of wild beauty. If you've been looking to try something new this season, this is your moment. 10. Bee Balm, Monarda. If your garden is your retreat, bee balm is your invitation to let the wild in. With bold, shaggy blooms in shades of red, pink, and purple, this native perennial doesn't whisper, it sings. June is an ideal time to plant bee balm. It roots quickly in warm soil and often blooms before summer's out. It prefers rich, moist soil and full sun to part shade, but what it really loves is space. Good airflow helps prevent powdery mildew. Its aromatic leaves are just as magical as the flowers. Some gardeners use them for herbal tea, others just love the gentle scent brushing past on summer evenings. And the best part? Bee balm attracts bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds like nothing else. It transforms your garden into a living, breathing ecosystem. If you want color, movement, and meaning in one plant, bee balm is your answer. 11. Catmint, Nepeta. Soft, soothing, and utterly dependable, catmint is the garden's equivalent of a deep breath. With its lavender blue flowers and silvery foliage, it wraps your garden in calm without ever demanding too much in return. Planting in June? No problem. Catmint roots fast in warm soil and begins flowering almost immediately, continuing well into summer and even fall. It thrives in full sun, prefers dry to average soil, and once it's in, it practically grows itself. This is a dream plant for anyone craving low-maintenance beauty with big rewards. It resists deer, tolerates drought, and adds a soft, flowing texture that looks gorgeous spilling over borders or stone paths. Its calming scent makes it a favorite for sensory gardens, and yes, cats adore it too. But even if you don't have feline friends, catmint brings joy with every breeze. Try planting it alongside roses, coneflowers, or ornamental grasses. It doesn't compete, it complements and creates the kind of harmony every gardener hopes for. 12. Scabiosa, pincushion flower. If you're someone who loves the little details, the delicate touches most people overlook, Scabiosa is your perfect match. Its charming, pincushion-like blooms float above slender stems, gently swaying in the breeze like nature's confetti. This underrated gem is ideal for planting in June. It grows quickly, establishes with ease, and can bloom within the same season. Give it full sun, well-drained soil, and a little room to breathe, and it'll reward you with non-stop flowers in soft pinks, blues, purples, and whites. Scabiosa is beloved by pollinators, especially butterflies, and makes a lovely addition to any wildlife-friendly space. Plus, it's compact and tidy, great for containers, window boxes, or tight garden corners that need a little whimsy. Deadhead regularly to encourage more blooms, or just let it do its thing. It's a generous bloomer either way. And when you clip a few for a vase, they'll last beautifully indoors too. For gardeners seeking something unique, delicate, and quietly dazzling, Scabiosa is your sweet final flourish. And there you have it, 12 perfect perennials to plant in June that prove it's never too late to grow something beautiful. Whether you're working with a sun-drenched backyard, a cozy city balcony, or a patch of earth you're just learning to trust again, these plants are ready to meet you where you are. They don't need you to be an expert. They don't demand perfection. All they ask is that you begin, from wherever you are, with whatever you have. Because gardening isn't just about soil and sunlight. It's about hope. It's about choosing to believe that something planted today will bloom tomorrow and again next year. So which of these perennials spoke to you? Let me know in the comments. Share your garden goals, your favorite bloom, or even your biggest challenge. We're growing together here. And if you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Earthly Delights community for more soulful, practical gardening stories. Until next time, keep growing, keep blooming, and let your garden be your sanctuary.